Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammy. I own Walnut Creek Bath Boutique. Today I am just bringing you maybe a new series of videos all about candles. I'm so excited about this. I have been wanting to develop and sell a candle line for so many years, probably since day one, guys. My husband really probably helped rein me in on that, but there is a reason that I have never sold candles, and that is money. Plain and simple, guys, it's just money. It is going to cost me about 100 to 150 more per year in insurance. That's it. Just covering my liability insurance. When you add in the cost of testing the candles, I just felt like there was no money to be made in it. Really, was I going to make $200 or more dollars at least a year in candle making, in candle sales, to cover the cost of my production of candles? And I never really felt like I would. I'm in a better place in my business. I am profiting on the business, not by any large amount, but I am profiting now after many years of bad financial decisions. I'm finally at a place where I'm trying to make better financial decisions, and it is a passion of mine with candle making, and I want to incorporate that in my business line. But I want to do it smart. And so I have waited until I felt like my business was at a point where it could take a bit of a hit the first year, and then hopefully slowly gain in the profits of candle sales. So I don't imagine this first year I'm going to make a profit if I just look at my candle sales as opposed to the cost of producing those candles and insuring those candles. But I'm hoping by maybe next year I can at least break even on my candle sales and offset those costs. That's kind of my mind. A little bit of a background on my candle making. So I have made candles. I'm not brand new at making candles. I was trying to think this morning. I think I've probably made close to 25 candles in my lifetime. I've made them for personal use. I've made them to gift. I've made two times in the last 5 years a testing. Like, I thought, I'm just going to test candles and get my wicks ready and do all this like major testing. And I had like 12 candles burning at a time trying to test, and I did it all wrong. But I got so overwhelmed with the testing that I walked away from it before I could get any further than like 2 hours into the burn cycle. I've made a lot of candles, so the process of making candles doesn't really bother me. It doesn't really like scare me. I've done it before. I even brought down a couple candles just to share with you. So this candle I made probably 9 years ago. And at first I was really weirded out by these lines. This is soy. I think this is 100% soy. It's just part of soy, right? Is the frosting. But I really thought that was cool. And you can see this side, the frosting is significant. And what I recently learned is that soy candles will just continue to develop the frosting, the crystallization, as it ages. So this is a lot more frosted than it used to be. It used to have really defined lines, and the lines are starting to kind of grow together. I never burned it. I just thought it was so neat. Once I kind of got over the shock of the frosting, I just really felt like it was such a neat looking candle. I never burned it. I just hold it. It's in my bathroom right now. And then I made this candle a while back. Look at that. Can you see? That is sand. All that colored, that's sand. So this is called a sandbox candle or something like that. And I took a big box, because I probably made 10 or 11 of these. And you get damp sand and put it in the box. And then you take like different size bottles, like wine bottles. I have all different widths of different bottles, and you punch them down in that sand, and you lift the bottle out, and you pour your wax in the cavity, let that harden, and then you brush off most of the sand, and you have these really, I have all kinds of these rustic candles. The problem is getting the wicks to stay was impossible, so all my wicks are off-centered, and that was a pain in the butt. So, but anyway, it was just a fun project that I did probably 9 or 10 years ago. I'm just sharing that with you just to kind of give you a little background on my candle making like history. So for this new venture, I have decided that I'm giving myself 6 months to develop my candles, do all of my testing, all of my gifting to friends and family and coworkers for them to test for me. I am giving myself 6 months to come up with my candle line. I am going to offer, hopefully in September, if all goes well, 5 candles, 5 cents. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to try really hard to stick with that. My wax melts are ridiculous in the number of cents I offer. My candles, I'm going to have limited editions, and I'm only going to offer 5 cents per season to start with. Now, whether I get a candle and it's a year-long candle, probably I'll have like 2 or 3 cents where they're just a year long. Like my Black Sea is probably going to be a year-long candle. But I'm not going to worry about Black Sea right now. I'm only working on my fall scents, and I'm giving myself that 6 months. Let me show you my jars. I got the jars in. These are from Candle Science, and I just thought they were really cool. It is a little over 3 inches in diameter, and it says 13 ounces. I think when I measured this with water, I think I'm going to have about 12 ounces of wax and fragrance oil. So I think it'll hold about 12 ounces. It's a pretty large candle. I chose this because it was not clear. My first jar in the cart was clear, and then I realized, do I really want a clear one? Which takes us to the wax. All right, guys, right or wrong, good or bad, probably bad and probably wrong. I cannot decide on a wax. And I appreciate your advice so much, but I really don't request any wax advice. I'm having enough trouble as it is. So I want advice, and I want your guys' feedback and input, absolutely. But please just skip the wax advice. I can't handle anymore. I can't do it. So here's I have 2 waxes coming. I know, I should just choose a wax and be done with it. But I really am struggling between a 100% soy and a parasoy. Now, personally, I don't have a problem with paraffin. My customers with my wax melts, they don't have a problem that I use parasoy. So it's not anything I'm against. But I like having soy with it. I don't really necessarily want a 100% paraffin candle or wax melt. I think parasoy is kind of like this best of both worlds. You get the good qualities of both of them, and the qualities that are kind of like a negative are diminished by putting them together. So I do have 100% soy wax and a parasoy coming, and I will share more about that when later on. But I just bought 5 pounds of each. I'm going to test them, and I'm just going to kind of feel my way through which one of them I like to work better with, and I'm just going to leave it at that, and that's going to be my wax for now. I may change later on down the road, but the first year or so, I'm going to stick with that one wax. I just could not decide between the two, so I bought both. But one of the reasons, again, is I wanted a solid, not a clear jar, just because soy, the frosting, the wet spots, all of that stuff that you have to deal with soy wax, I didn't want to do that, mess with that. And so that's that. I have lots of wicks. I have 3 different kinds of wicks. I'm going to hopefully get testing this weekend. This is March, like this weekend is like, this is the 9th, I think, Wednesday night. I'm really hoping to get to testing this weekend. So I really want a good solid 6 months for the testing. Gosh, I need to quit my job. I don't have time for all this. Anyway, I'm really hopeful to get that started. I thought I would just bring you guys along for the ride and share with you where I'm at in my testing and my fragrance oil selections and what's going good, what's going bad. If you're interested in having kind of like this series, please let me know so I know that I'm not boring you guys to death. And then I'm going to make this one fairly short. I will bring you back during my testing and the development of those candles and the wax I'm using and the wicks I'm using. I'll go into more detail so you can just experience along with me. And yeah, let's just call this a quick little chat video. I'm rambling. Let me see. How do I? Sometimes I have the hardest time just like leaving a video. It's like, how do I stop talking? Thanks for watching, and I appreciate your time. And I'll see you very soon in my very first wax testing session. Wax testing session. That's hard to say. I need to come up with a better tagline for that. See you next time.